What's good, everybody? I'm the One-Legged Raven, and I'd like to revisit an earlier video that I made last week about predatory prepping and using replacement fleet keys to get into vehicles. Now, a lot of the things that are illegal now, and there are some harmless things like transmitting on certain ham radio bands is illegal, but you're able to do it if it's an emergency, like 911. You're able to call 911 for help if it's an emergency, but you can't just call to say, "Hi, I'm bored. How are you doing?" Shooting someone in self-defense, that makes it an emergency. Your life is in danger. You have to kill that person. That's murder on a regular day. In an emergency, it's justified. Gray area, but you know what I'm trying to say. Breaking into buildings to take things is illegal, except in an emergency. You still might get shot. You still might get accosted for, trying to do that. But if you're starving or dying of thirst, you got to do what you got to do to get in. Bringing us full circle. I talked about the 1284X Ford fleet key replacement, and this is for vehicles that have not been rekeyed, or older Crown Victoria models, your typical squad car. Most I say most. I'm not even sure of the statistics, but what I've come to realize is typically, whenever someone loses a key, they don't rekey the vehicle. They just buy a replacement key and move on from there. In the 90s, they switched over from the Caprices and the I can't remember the other model of the police car, but they switched over from that to the Crown Victoria, and they've been the standard ever since. So there are exploits with using the same vehicle for years and years on end, and this key is one of those exploits. It opens the doors, the trunk, and even turns it over, so you can loot and even steal a car with this key. I'm not condoning any illegal activity whatsoever, but in an emergency, you got to do what you got to do. This is a universal filing cabinet key. Now, some medications may be locked up using a lock similar to this in a filing cabinet, medicine cabinet. You may need life-saving medicine. This is not for drug-seeking behavior uses. This is not for anything other than getting something to help you survive. These are also available if you just do a quick Google search for Pentesting keys, Pentesting keys. Penetration testing, you'll find all these keys. These are TSA 007 and 008 keys. These are the two most common luggage lock keys that are TSA approved. They just, whenever your luggage goes through the airport, they just open it up, make sure everything's cool, and lock it back up. It's a farce. These are cash register keys, and I have these for experimental use only. These are for if it hits the fan and everything's gone very, very badly and I need some walking cash, I can get into a cash register without destroying anybody's property. And everyone's going to call me out and say, "Oh, you're full of crap. You're not going to do that." But if I took money, I would try to write down the amount and where I got it from, and if possible, repay that money later, once everything had stabilized. I mean, if the building burns down or everyone's dead because of alien virus or something, then, whatever. I stole money. But if at all possible, I'd like to return it. Going back to the fleet key, going into a police officer's vehicle and retrieving his weapons, his body armor, his ammunition, his spare food, water, whatever he's got in there, write down the license plate, write down the patrol car number, and return that stolen property once it becomes prudent to do so. There'll be some wear and tear. You might not be greeted with open arms, but hey, you're returning stuff that you took, and you used it to get to where you need to go and be safe. You're now safe. Everything has stabilized. Return the things you took. Also, that weapon's got a serial number on it. It's going to be reported stolen. You better think about that in the future. What's next on this keyring? And this is just a small keyring that I threw together last night. It just has, well, it's not small, it's heavy, but it has auto jigglers on here too. And these are for American and import cars. You can use these to get into the doors. These are not necessarily used for turning over the car. Newer model cars have very sophisticated, way beyond my understanding, anti-theft detection. You have to plug a computer in to get the alarm to recognize you as an owner. No, this is not for stealing vehicles. This is for getting access into vehicles without harming the vehicle and retrieving items that no longer serve the owners of the vehicle, like blankets or a gas cap, getting gasoline for an abandoned vehicle to put in your vehicle so you can get you and your family to safety. Most abandoned vehicles will be out of gas or have some other mechanical problem, so don't even try starting them. You can use a siphon and a gas can and check for gas, but other than that, you're just trying to get in there and find snacks, blankets. Check the center console and the glove box for weapons. You may find a handgun or ammunition or baton, knife, batteries. There's a lot of things you can do with these jigglers to get inside keys, get inside cars. Another option is, hey, what if it's all gone to hell and you need batteries for a solar setup? You can take one of those signs on the side of the road that's powered by solar, remove the solar panel and the wiring, and then you can get into a whole bunch of cars and get the batteries, line them all up, and then you have a battery bank that charges during the day. You can have electricity at your camp, or run a water pump, or do a whole bunch of things. So this, like I said, sorry, it was supposed to be a quick video. Just showing you, for a few dollars, you can buy these things online and put them on a key ring, put them in your bug out bag or your vehicle, your get home bag. And if you're like me, you have no space for preps. I have no room for anything. I have 4 cases of water sitting outside that don't even belong to me. They're a friend of mine. So if space is an issue, just take from the land and do it with respect and the intention of returning it when things have started to get back to normal. Because that's all anybody's trying to do. What if somebody else watches the exact same video you're watching and says, oh, I'm going to do that, and then it's their stuff that gets taken? So be courteous, kind, and respectful to each other. If you're smelling what I'm stepping in, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.